I am Kesten Rono, and you are here for day 24 of our exploration in A Course in Miracles. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for trying on this practice with me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for relaxing your guard on your upsets. We were learning yesterday a very simple message that there is no point in lamenting the world, that hating what we see around us is meaningless. Specifically meaningless because illusions are what fear creates. We believe that darkness can hide, that there is this idea lurking. But darkness cannot hide. And illusions are not there. And fear, whether we have been taught it or created it, need not be the way that we see the world. That when we see upsets, new upsets, our old upsets, regardless of their source, we believe they have influence on us, and they indeed seem to, in that we give them the power of our mind, our attention, and our thoughts. And we are coming to learn that our thoughts create everything around us, but if that issue is challenging, we at least know that our thoughts affect our being, that stress itself can be a killer. And no matter what befalls us, or what we could find on the news, the amount of heartache that the ones closest to us can feel, we must still choose to let go, or we accept that all we want to feel is pain. If we're feeling pain, we're likely to create pain. If we are feeling under attack, eventually, some of us at least are likely to attack back, to rally support, to protest, which is your right to protest. But what are we really protesting? This book would have us believe that at the very, very, very foundational level, that we have allied ourselves with our ego, whose path is ultimately destruction, that it is designed to keep us safe. And in order to complete that design, it must have something from which to keep us safe. And we can look all around and say, isn't there infinite things to be worried about? Perhaps, but this would be playing directly into the ego. Its tool is fear. What it manifests are illusions. We are living in a hallucination, playing with invisible items and believing that they are there, that darkness can hide. What is the opposition of the ego? The unknown, God and his love. That somehow we have convinced ourselves that we are in combat with love. We think we are here to crush all oppression, but oppression and coercion, depression, resistance, and our upsets are somehow all of our making, our own making, that we are falling for our own trick, that with our mind we have the ability to stress ourselves out and cause dis-ease, and we have the ability to be creative and somehow disappear into a flow, a runner's high, that we can disappear into something purely exciting, something that we may even love or allow us a glimpse from this cycle, this circle of attack and being attacked, of defending ourselves again through attack, of getting revenge, of vengeance, of seeing vengeance back. That everything, political, nation, war, that these are simply expressions of vengeance, that we are on either side, even if we can only see ourselves from our perspective, but we can imagine that one side getting a one up on somebody within the reference of there is something to be lost, that we are now winning. The other side feels like they are losing. And if they feel they have been attacked or they are cornered, they are likely to attack back. In their mind, maybe they're defending something that we think is absolutely radical, something based off of fear and death. That is the story of the ego, and we can recognize that now. We understand that it dies. We understand that we are being told our thoughts transmute hate into love, that letting loveliness in creates this transformation. These radicals, however we see it, need love, however we can give it, and we can start with ourselves. That we are not victim to our upsets, that we are only trapped in this idea with ourselves, that we can release ourselves from a world of upsets, whatever cage we've created, by recognizing our attack thoughts. But ultimately, foundationally, these are ideas, these are ideas in our ecosystem, possibilities along a path of fear or a path of love. We find ourselves always at that fork. And our ego would say, let me protect you. You must be protected. And we say, yes, of course. We must be protected. The people whom we love must be protected. And I feel that's true. And so we end up fighting. And we end up hating. And what does hate do? It only knows how to spread hate. I don't even believe hate can choose hate. It is hate. And it cannot choose love, but we can. What is our power? Our power is to be able to feel, that we can feel the sources of our hate, that we are being reminded of things that can trigger these feelings, and we get caught in the feeling, believing that we need to fight, that we should go on attack by defending, but attacking creates attack. Each of these things begets more of themselves. So how do we get out of this circle? We allow ourselves to feel our upsets. And thank goodness we are being reminded every day around us. Just turn the news on. We are falling victim to the same story. We simply need to be excited about anything and see it as a path and a necessity for vengeance. That it's despicable and there's just no way it can be justified, and we have to do something. We must fight. We do have to do something. It's to recognize that by doing anything other than seeing these thoughts for what they are and releasing them, that we simply walk on the same treadmill. Because the world around us changes. The people who would believe we should call them leaders change. Because new horrors happen in different places. We think that things are changing, but fundamentally the root of it, again, is fear, hate, anger, sadness. There is no point in lamenting the world. This would be just admitting that we hate the effects We can agree. We want people to be well. Fundamentally, we want people to be well. So what can we do? We can attempt to address the cause. The cause is our thoughts. We've talked through a few examples about how our thoughts are certainly influencing us to some degree, which causes us to influence someone else to a certain degree, which can cause them to take an action in the direction of their levity if we are feeling positivity, that we are passing something along. Just simply be angry. Be angry in front of a child or a dog. What kind of reaction do you get? Be silly and loving. What kind of reaction do you get? That we have some control by design. So if we believe that we must attack and we cannot see beyond that lens, we're stuck. But the good news is we can be free. And aren't we on a path for perfect peace, perfect safety, freedom from worry? Don't we fundamentally believe in freedom? Why do we allow ourselves to continually be scared and give away our freedom, begging for someone else to make it all stop? Maybe it feels complex, but this is our confusion, which creates sickness. We are unable to organize everything. No nation can be centrally planned. It will lose the natural market feedback of the price, of the value of goods, and if that nation plays with its money supply. It changes the ability to use price as a measurement, and everything devolves. Nothing can be valued, and value is subjective. We take actions in a free and fair market, creating ideas and asking for support. People dare risk their saved energy in the form of money to back that support, to breathe life into that value. And it's possible if that value is valuable for other people, those people will part with their life, their savings, their life savings. And such is the nature of true free capitalism, that we breathe life into the ideas which we value. And what is our money after all? It's just an expression that someone else has agreed to offer us for any time and energy we have spent in the past so that we can spend it in the future. All of it, of course, being in the present. That as we apply ourselves towards something with meaning, we receive some kind of value. We're giving ourselves away and receiving something. And this allows us to give more. This is the fundamental nature of what a miracle is, that we are going to give love and receive love. We are going to offer forgiveness, do the quote unquote hard thing, remembering that no miracle is harder or bigger than another. So even though it looks like this quality brings us rage, it's the same principle as if it was a mere inconvenience. I can forgive someone for bumping into me on the street way easier than I can forgive someone for hurting my family. But what are they fundamentally? They are forgiveness. It may seem harder to us, but forgiveness itself is its own idea. It's another ethereal thing that is simply itself. And we, as creators of what's around us and what is within us, have the ability to say, thank you for this idea. I'd like to offer it to somebody. And if we keep looking at sources of our upsets and thinking that someone else is doing it to us, we lose the ability to realize that we are saying, thank you, hate. And what can we do with hate? Offer it to somebody else. That is the business that we believe we want to invest our time and money in, our life, our savings. And so we see more hate. But if we take that forgiveness, say, what a beautiful idea, we realize what it means to forgive, and that itself comes with sacrifice that takes us in this direction of salvation because we have finally given up ourselves and the need to fight and fear. We're no longer trapped when we offer forgiveness. That we can recognize the source of our negative thoughts, our upsets, what we are harnessing, what we are building ourselves out of so that we may protest and fight, and calling it defense. But to those whom we attack, they only feel attack, and therefore we are investing in attack. The concept is simple. We believe that we are being attacked, and therefore we are justified to attack back in our defense. How can we stand for this? Can you see the cycle? This circle of attacks, of vengeance, of hate, of the idea of fear that it could happen to more people and it's not right. Do you see that cycle? Do you see how we have been caught in our own thoughts, passing them back and forth, constantly investing? We believe for some reason that this idea, this fight has value. And we believe that because we believe we're defending something that we believe has value. And I'm sure we can all find examples where the other side is just evil. They don't have any of that same value. They're not fighting for that. They're not defending that. They just want to see us burn. That, then, surely would mean that now we're justified to harbor hate, to breathe life into it. We could just stamp them out and it'll all be gone. Then there'll be no more hate. We've heard that before. It's someone else's fault. Kids say it. People who bring us to war say it. I say it, you say it. It's because it's intoxicating and it's what we've been taught. And it's what we believe. I don't like something about you in me. That there is something in me that I can notice from this situation that I would like to change. And what we are recognizing is that we have been lamenting the world. We have been borrowing hate and breathing life into hate and trying to tell us and everybody else that we don't give life to hate. We don't like hate. No more hate. As we actively hate the people who have done it to us. Can you see the paradox? That salvation is through recognizing these and letting them go. Letting them be replaced by what is already there. A very key point of yesterday. It's not about replacing them with, what do I pick now? No, it's already there. The easel of love, of unconditional love, is there for us to paint on. And we could paint with love, but we can also paint with any other experience and any other idea that comes up. Do you want to be playing with fear and its illusions? Or do you want to be building something true? It seems that we've never done that before. Would you like to try that? There is no point, as in it is meaningless, to lament the world, to hate the effects of these sources of upsets. That it's a trick. It's a trick. And if we tell ourselves it is not a trick, we are tricking ourselves. Because what is fundamentally happening in the world around us, at least we can recognize, is made up of people making decisions. And we just agreed that you can scare a child or make a child laugh. Our actions are charged by us. There are no neutral things because there are no neutral thoughts. So fundamentally, not only do we have an effect on the world, but it is made up of people having effects on the world. Thank you for your patience. I think it's possible we can all feel passion and want to experience this a different way. I am feeling a whole lot more conviction and determination to see a way through. And I'm willing to recognize that I might believe the message needs to be forced onto me. But I do think it is simple. And as simple as saying that, like what a true free market would be, you and I, with different sets of experiences, and therefore different resources, different hurts to evaluate, which can offer us different strengths as we offer them love, because offering love, which is what miracles are, their expression and their source, by offering our upsets love, we receive strength. So we become strengthened through this process, even if you and I have a different set of experiences and we believe we have different capabilities to do this. But we have the ability to do this. We have the ability to take action and invest in anything which we see valuable. That is the true nature of the true world. That is the true nature of a true market. What we invest in, therefore, increases in value, at least as we see it. And if we are so passionate about the value of which we invest, then other people may eventually be curious about what we find so valuable. If we are investing ourselves in expressions of hate and fighting, attack, and we believe, therefore, that that is valuable, we are breathing more life into hate, vengeance. Because, of course, we're justified. We were hurt first. We have something to defend. Remember, it's all made up of people, and they are all doing the best they can with the best that they know. Aren't you? Or are you saying that you're doing less than the best that you can with the best that you know? If you're doing less than the best that you can, then you could simply move forward with loving more. But if you believe that you're doing the best you can, then we are all tricked. We have all been investing in an idea that makes us upset. We are selecting upset, breathing life into upset, investing in the free market of ideas of upset. Therefore, we are walking around upset. People are noticing that we are upset. Fundamentally, this is incongruent with what we are all looking for: perfect peace, perfect safety, freedom from worry. Therefore, we are saying, what is this? What are you upset about? Sometimes we then want to champion that idea. It becomes our idea. We choose to invest in upset. This is the free market of ideas. So it seems it is as simple as saying, where am I upset? What is the source of my upset? What is causing me to want to attack or feel like I have been attacked? What game have I been caught in here with my ego, believing that it is somehow in combat with God? And God is simply offering love, strength, forgiveness, and truth. What is my upset and its source? May I please let that go? How do we let it go? By recognizing that it's meaningless, that we are giving it meaning, and that we mean to believe. We want to see in the world what we desire, we will see. Therefore, what we are seeing, we must be desiring. It's challenging to admit that we have been living in fear. You have been living in fear. You've been desiring more fear. It's been making you safe because it means you have something to defend. You will literally die for it, and that would be worthy. I feel this way. We all would stand up for something eventually. We would be protecting an idea that we believe can die. Everything we see is perishable. It will not last. It is not real. It is an idea of vengeance. It is time to invest in love. It is time to recognize the thing that we want ultimately and say, oh, I have been misallocating my capital. I am now choosing to cut my losses, aka let these upsets go, let their sources go. And I'm going to replace those thoughts by reinvesting my capital in love. It's a totally new venture for me. I don't know that much about it, but it is definitely what I want to see grow. So it is definitely what I will invest my time in. And thank goodness I have felt all these upsets in my life because they tell me for sure, that what I invest my energy into, what I observe, I will create more of. And if what I desire, which is love, I want to see, then I must choose to see it. Therefore, when I see love, I recognize that that must be what I am desiring. And I have entered into a new proof point, a new opportunity for a new circle that is not stating its value as thoughts of attack. That our thoughts are the cause completely. And we are interested in changing the effect. So we are going to go directly to the root cause. That's what we've been doing here. Today, may we give up our insistence and the belief that it is difficult. We give up our insistence on investing in fear. May we believe that it is not difficult to forgive. May we recognize that forgiveness is a gift. It is a blessing. That in forgiveness, we have done the harder thing compared to what we've ever done before. And we're severing the loop of this attack circle. And we are stepping out of it and saying, even though I have done wrong or I have just been wronged, it is okay. You are forgiven. And I am willing to forgive myself that I have a will. And having a will is my determination to continue moving in a direction of love and truth, something that is real, that can build a real foundation for the future. And love must accept what upsets have been. Fortunately, they become meaningless in the name of love, which says it's okay. You are forgiven. And with this practice, we are given back God's love instantly. If cause and effect are tied, and we change the cause, which is our thoughts, we are instantly tied to its effect. That this cause, our love, is tied to the effect, love. So if you could dream that you would like to live in love, which would be the effect, you could dream that it is within you to accept and begin that cause. When we give love, we receive love. May you be filled up with strength in God's love, in the unconditional idea that no matter what has been done or what you have done, that love persists. It already is. It is the thought on the other side of replacing it. It is what our thought of fear will be replaced with, but this is not a future thing. It already is. The idea of love in its purest sense is unconditional. And because something that is unconditional will always exist and is, and by its pure nature, it is love, pure love, that is an idea inside of this ecosystem in which we exist. And we may take that idea and say, aha, this is what I want to invest my life into, my life savings into, my thoughts, who I am, whatever it is that I am, I'm determined. I don't believe in resistance or oppression. I cannot be coerced to believe in fear anymore. This is what I want to invest myself into, and if this is a new adventure, I am happy to be learning that my misunderstanding and my discomfort are linked and that I am growing. And what am I growing? Wherever I assign my life savings, I'm going to grow into, I'm going to grow the idea of pure love, which means I am moving closer and closer and closer to accepting its unconditionality. That this applies to absolutely anything and everything around us. And if we do not believe that, we are tricking ourselves. And we can escape from this world of illusions by recognizing that it is and it has captured us and setting it aside. And as we let it go, there is no more work to be done because the unconditional love persists. It's a through line through all things, time and space, always available for us to feel. And it's perfectly safe to arrive at it, no matter what has happened. It is always all okay. And the way there is to forgive ourselves and forgive the people who we believe have hurt us. Forgive the ideas that we have believed were our friends. We were just investing in them. That we, as creators, in control of our thoughts, can choose mindlessness and be caught up. And at any time, we may wake up and say, aha, that's right, love. Thank you for existing without condition. Thank you for loving me, even in my confusion. I am sorry. I was attempting to organize all of the levels, but I do not have true sight. I recognize that I am still here in time. And I know, love, because you are without condition. You exist through all of time. Please forgive me in my confusion. I was scared of the unknown and believed that I needed to assume control, and I was afraid. Because I was afraid, I was lashing out in my confusion, and I'm sorry for my attacks. I was simply trying to defend what I love, and I realize now that love, thank you, love, you never left. I've always been interested in feeling better, in doing better. And I see I've always been on a path towards understanding, towards knowingness, towards meaningness, meaningfulness, towards fullness. Thank you, thank you, thank you, love, for showing me your value. I would like to invest myself in you. And to this idea of love, I devote myself. I am determined and I have conviction. And you remind me that because you are always there, that it was simply what I had covered you up with that I am practicing to let go. That this is very easy. That the miracle of living in love takes care of itself. Literally. You are the source of miracles and their expression. Investing in you creates more of you. Thank you, love. May I understand this idea of forgiveness in myself. May I know God's forgiveness. May I know your forgiveness. That you are pure love. As pure love, you are accepting. You are not hating. That idea is outside of love. And I have been investing in my fears and upsets. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you and I love you. That is what we may choose to invest in. And I believe I am worthy of love, that I'm powerful enough to choose love, even in my lack of understanding. That through this process I become abundant, as I give more of myself away, what hurts me the most, and release it. That I receive more love, forgiveness, and strength. More life. Miracles mean life. And thus I am complete. That I had been tricking myself the whole time. That love is without condition. It literally is. It is everywhere and in all things. And I had been yelling, drowning out God's voice, simply asking me to notice that we have been living in a world of ideas, and we have been investing in the exact thing that we believe will protect what we love most. And that thing can be only itself. If it is not love, then we are not accepting. And it is okay to let our old ideas of safety through control, because we are afraid, it is okay to let these go. Fade into meaningless. They are meaningless after all. May you choose love. May we all feel complete. Miracles enable you to heal the sick and raise the dead because you made sickness and death yourself. You can therefore abolish both. You are a miracle, capable of creating in the likeness of your Creator. Everything else is your own nightmare and does not exist. Only the creations of light are real. It's up to us. It's up to you. Do you accept? Miracles enable you to heal the sick. What is sickness? We learned yesterday it comes from confusing the levels. What are these levels? Miracles rearrange our perception. Remember, miracles are teaching devices. Miracles rearrange perception and place all levels in true perspective. Miracles themselves literally order the chaos of the unknown of which we are afraid. This is healing because sickness comes from confusing the levels. Miracles enable you to heal the sick. That's us. We are sick. We can heal ourselves. We invest in love. Miracles enable you to heal the sick and raise the dead. What we have been missing. Because you made sickness and death yourself and can therefore abolish both. We are the creators. We don't want to believe that we're creating all of this sickness and death, but if we accept that we are creating it, we can end it. It is an illusion of the ego, which is naturally on a path to its destruction. It is simply trying to postpone it by saying, if we fight enough, we will be safe. There is power in recognizing that we are creating death, that we are creating sickness, because miracles offer us the opportunity to heal this. If we have created it, we have the ability to change it. If we haven't created it because we're ashamed of that idea or we can't believe it, we have no power to change it. We are living in the effect. But a creator is the cause of things to be. Those are our thoughts. Miracles are thoughts. You are a miracle, capable of creating in the likeness of your creator. Everything else is your own nightmare and does not exist. Only the creations of light are real. Choose to heal your sickness or choose to live in sickness. Lesson 24. I do not perceive my own best interests. You do not perceive your own best interests. In no situation that arises do you realize the outcome that would make you happy. Therefore, you have no guide to appropriate action and no way of judging the result. We are not realizing any outcomes which actually make us happy. So we have no way, if we have no North Star of happiness, of true happiness, we don't know what to do, what action would guide us in the right direction. And we have no way of measuring the result. Do you really believe that you could fight someone until you're happy? Or would that be in letting it go? What you do is determined by your perception of the situation, and that perception is wrong. It is inevitable, then, that you will not serve your own best interests, because we are perceiving these situations incorrectly. We are therefore creating goals that are not in alignment with our happiness. We have no way to guide what should be our appropriate actions, and no way of measuring the results. We continually think that our perception is true, but we are making actions based off our perception. We are caught in a simple cycle of misunderstanding, and may we accept the discomfort and decide to see differently. It is inevitable then that you will not serve your own best interests. Yet they are your only goal in any situation which is correctly perceived. So if we're perceiving truly, then we will have our best interests literally in mind. Otherwise, you will not recognize what they are. Okay. Our perception is wrong, whether we like to admit it, and therefore, inevitably, we will not serve our own best interests. Yet our best interests are our only goals in any situation when we have true sight. We're always working in our best interests. We cannot give what we do not have. We desire fullness, and to offer that fullness, as this also strengthens us. In, unless we realize that we have been misseeing, we will never recognize our own best interests. If you realized that you do not perceive your own best interests, you could be taught what they are. But in the presence of your conviction that you do not know what they are, you cannot learn. The idea for today is a step toward opening your mind so that learning can begin. All right, our learning is blocked because we do not realize that we are not perceiving our best interests. If we realize that we are not, if we're willing to admit that we are wrong, we can be taught a new way. We can learn. We can change. We can desire that change. And therefore, that is what we will see. But if we demand conviction, we want people to validate for sure that our idea is the best. If we cannot admit that we have been wrong, we cannot learn. Today's idea: I do not perceive my own best interests. The exercises for today require much more honesty than you are accustomed to using. We are stepping all the way into love. We are safe. May we be radically honest with ourselves as we go throughout this practice. A few subjects, honestly and carefully considered in each of the 5 practice periods, which should be undertaken today, will be more helpful than a more cursory examination of a larger number. So we're going to focus on a few things, honestly and carefully. 2 minutes are suggested for each of the mind-searching periods, which the exercises involve. All right, we're doubling from 5 1-minute periods to 5 2-minute periods. We can do it. The practice period should begin with repeating today's idea, followed by searching the mind, with closed eyes, for unresolved situations about which you are currently concerned. Remember, we just want a few subjects. So we are going to try to find in our minds unresolved situations that are currently bothering us. The emphasis should be on uncovering the outcome you want. So we're going to be finding things in our mind that are currently concerning us, and then we're going to emphasize the outcome which we want. What is the effect that we're looking for? We're beginning to recognize that we have not been perceiving our own best interests. You will quickly realize that you have a number of goals in mind as part of the desired outcome, and also that these goals are on different levels and often conflict. In applying the idea for today, name each situation that occurs to you, and then enumerate carefully as many goals as possible that you would like to be met in its resolution. So, what are the goals? Say them quickly about some situation that concerns us. The form of each application should be roughly as follows. In the situation involving blank, I would like blank to happen and blank to happen, and so on. So, recognizing something that concerns us and then stating what we would like to have happen. I've talked about money. So, in the situation involving money printing tied to an unbacked currency distributed to Some more favorably than others, rather than all savors equally. To money printing and its fallouts by selling something that is not owned. I would like it to stop. I would like it to be backed, all currency, to a hard asset. I would like all people holding the currency to be able to exchange it for that portion of that hard asset. I would like people to be able to freely trade this asset for whatever it is in the market that they deem valuable. And I would like ideas to flourish. Try to cover as many different kinds of outcomes as may honestly occur to you, even if some of them do not appear to be directly related to the situation or even be inherent in it at all. I wish people perfect peace, perfect safety. I wish people to be able to express themselves, to invest in what they believe is valuable, to move freely. I wish people to be able to recognize that it is love and connection between each other that allows for love and connection to grow. That there is nothing to be afraid of. That our investments in items that do not have value, as perceived by everyone, and that everyone is looking for something greater for themselves. Otherwise, everyone would be comfortable being depressed. That we are looking for meaning. That the group will be voting with their value, their life, and their savings in the direction of whatever has the most meaning. I want a cycle of love, investing in love, growing love, investing in creativity, growing creativity to happen. I want the idea of investing in fear to become known. That it has been happening, for people to be able to say that they have made mistakes, they've been wrong, and they choose to see a different way. That those who know love will say, "You are welcome here. This is the realm of love. Here you may build with love. If you build with fear, you will not be here." But in this realm of unconditional love, this is what we invest in here. This is what we believe can grow. Here you have perfect peace, perfect safety, and freedom from worry. That is simply how it works here. That's what I would like to happen in the situation involving the end to money printing and its free exchange for something real. If these exercises are done properly, you will quickly recognize that you are making a large number of demands of the situation which have nothing to do with it. You will also recognize that many of your goals are contradictory, that you have no unified outcome in mind, and that you must experience disappointment in connection with some of your goals, however the situation turns out. I believe that I am completely unaware how this would work out, if that's achievable, and if it could happen in a direct line by restoring value. That there would be many upsets and challenges in accepting this value, and much more I believe I can discover on my own time. After covering the list of as many hoped for goals as possible, For each unresolved situation that crosses your mind, say to yourself, I do not perceive my own best interests in this situation, and go on to the next one. Okay, so we're going to close our eyes, search our minds for unresolved situations that currently concern us. We are going to end up selecting a few of these. For each one, we are going to say in the situation involving that situation which currently upsets us, we would like X to change, Y to happen, Z to happen. After we list these X, Y, Z and more rapidly, we will realize that some of these are contradictory, that the outcome does not always appear uniform. And somehow we may experience disappointment in connection with some of those goals, no matter how it turns out. That when it is complete, it still will not be enough. We will be disappointed. These are our hoped for goals. And for each one that feels unresolved, we need to say, I do not perceive my own best interests in this situation. List the situation. Express rapidly what you would like the goals to be. Recognize their conflicts and recognize that we will be disappointed no matter how it works out. I wonder what this would be creating for us to start again, the same circle. For these unresolved situations, we say, I do not perceive my own best interests in this situation. I do not perceive my own best interests in this situation. Please say it with me one time. I do not perceive my own best interests in this situation. Because we do not see our own best interests, we have no way to guide action or judge the results. We are falling victim to our perception. Our perception is wrong, therefore we cannot serve our own best interests. If we accept that we are not perceiving our own best interests, we can be taught a new way. That's why we're here. But when we refuse, we cannot learn. We are trying to simply take a step for the sake of the step to open our mind to a new idea so we may learn. Learning has no threat. More knowledge does not hurt us. More knowledge, we would believe, allows us to make fuller decisions. With more knowledge, we would be on a track to be able to understand our best interests. If we know what our best interests are, we know exactly what action we want to take, given an array of options or our creativity. We could imagine taking one action versus another, or trying one before or after another, and we would be able to ask ourselves, which one was more successful and why? I know what I want. Right now, we do not perceive our own best interests, so we do not know what we want. When we can admit that we want to perceive our own best interests, we can learn how. And we need not be threatened by learning. We become more comfortable. We become more peaceful. We can make decisions in our best interest. We are safer. We are becoming free from worry. We find ourselves simply by trying this exercise, admitting we have been wrong. We move closer to the outcome of miracles. You do know love. You have the power to become love, to become the wavelength of love. It is simply we who do not believe it sometimes. So, I have been wrong. I do not perceive my own best interests. I desire to learn, and therefore that is what I will see, learning. Today, for 5 different times, 2 minutes each, search your mind for currently concerning situations. State the situation and state what you would like to have happen. Recognize that no matter what happens, you will be disappointed with something. It will not be enough. More will be required. Therefore, the goals will not be met. Some goals could be contradictory. For these situations, we are going to say, I do not perceive my own best interests in this situation, and go on to the next. Yesterday, we were learning to recognize upsets and let them go. We were letting the thought of them go. The source we would learn how to do later. And here we're being opened to another idea of recognizing, stating that we do not perceive our own best interests in that situation, and then letting it go. May we trust this practice. We are in the practice of learning. With our learning, we grow in strength. We understand love more. We know what is in our best interest and how better to take a step there. May we accept that we are being directed very specifically by God to wake up to His creation and create in the image of it. May you invest in love. I am Kesten Rono, and I am determined to see things differently. I desire love, and am determined to see love. And today I will admit that I do not perceive my best interests. I'll see you tomorrow for day 25 of A Course in Miracles.